The hardest part of any activity that you will ever do in your life is the first step. Let me give you an example of my own life, which is writing. But as I said, this lesson extracts to all activities that you can think of. So when it comes to writing, the thought of sitting down in front of the computer and doing so is quite overwhelming, right? It's like, what will I write about? Like, there's an excitement, sure, that I want to write, and there's ideas percolating to a degree, but actually making the time it is literally the hardest part. Now, once I've sat down, then at a certain point, my mind catches up with me and says like, okay, I guess we're going to do this, so I might as well contribute, right? And it's not to say that once I've sat down and been there for, a couple minutes, that it's the most easy process ever. It's not. There's still very much frustrations and so forth when it comes to my writing, no different than anything else. And yet once I'm there, I can start to weed my way through it, right? It truly is that once you take that first step, you just create this inertia for yourself. And however slow you are at the beginning, it's like a snowball effect. It will, take off after a certain point. And hopefully you can keep that same momentum, day in, day out, especially for longer term projects, because quite frankly, I'll have a good writing session for a few hours one day, and the next day it's like, I have to do this all over again. I don't know if I can do it again, right? Like all those voices start to creep in, thereby making it very difficult to actually sit down and to write. But once I do, then the same thing repeats. So that's really the major step to overcome, is just literally taking that first step. And it's not just the first step once. It's, you have to repeat that step, especially for longer term projects that you're working on. You have to do it over and over again. And that's why having routine and blocking out your schedule to do these things does help. And so you, in essence, are disciplined enough to force yourself to be able to do that activity. And I promise you, once you've gotten past that first step, arduous as it may be, it's a lot easier after that. I promise you. And I'm not the only one to say this. Many other people, writers and artists talk about this. So let it help you. And let me know how it goes.